Getting the harder weight 17. Back with another EP. Y'all do your boy a favor as y'all come on in. Y'all hit that like button. And today I'm here with an interesting story, and I want to make sure that I say this right. I want to make sure that I properly, deliver this 17, the right way. Type deal. Let me turn these ads on real quick. Want to make sure that I properly deliver this Southern tea the right way. I'm gonna start out by saying Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao recently retired from boxing, right? Not officially retired from boxing, but he verbally retired from boxing after his fight with Jordanis Ugas. Now we all know that if he had a won that fight with Jordanis Ugas, then Manny Pacquiao would have never retired in general. But newsflash, Manny Pacquiao, whether he fought Jordanis Ugas or Errol Spence, Manny Pacquiao was always going to retire, after his last fight. But Manny Pacquiao was never, going to retire for good after his last fight. The plan was always to retire, but the plan was never to retire for good. So, see what you mean? Well, what I'm saying is, Manny Pacquiao, is from the Philippines. Manny Pacquiao has been a congressman over in the Philippines for years. Well-respected guy. Yes, it is Manny Pacquiao's. It was Manny Pacquiao's. Adult dream. To become president of the Philippines. You know what I mean? He became a congressman and all that good shit. It was one of his adult dreams. So he put his boxing on hold. To chase a once in a lifetime opportunity. Running for office. Running for office is not something, that just comes around, every day. Running for office isn't just something, that comes around, all willy-nilly. You know what I mean? When an opportunity arises, for you to run for presidential office, you know what I mean? You take it. That's not something you just can put on hold and then come back to, when you're ready to pick it up is running for office. So yes, Manny Pacquiao retired, but Manny Pacquiao retired only to run for office. You know what I mean? He didn't retire, because he wanted to. If Manny Pacquiao had won that fight with Jordanis Ugas, he would have came back and he would have fought Errol Spence. You know what I mean? That there wouldn't have been no retirement at all. But the fact that he lost gave him time, to focus on his political endeavors, right? So Manny Pacquiao had always intended Manny Pacquiao had always Manny Pacquiao had always intended, to make his ring return to boxing. Now I segue that into this. Floyd Mayweather. Now we know Floyd Mayweather, as of late, 2022, he fought Logan Paul. He fought Logan Paul in 21, right? He fought Logan Paul in 21. And then he was rumored to fight, some rich kid from Saudi Arabia, or something like that. But I said that to say, if you've been paying attention, you see Floyd Mayweather. You see Floyd Mayweather been doing his, due diligence. You see Floyd Mayweather been doing his due diligence. You know what I mean? Trying to get in the ring, getting these exhibition matches and whatnot, right? He didn't. He ended up not fighting the guy from Dubai because whatever happened, the guy had to pull out. The guy had to pull out for whatever reason. Did the young fighter in Dubai. He had to pull out for whatever reason he had to pull out for. So he ended up finding a replacement. Actually, a real boxer this time. A guy who does have a boxing history, 18-0. Don Moore. Don Moore is a guy from actually Floyd Mayweather's team, or the money team. This is Roger Mayweather's pupil, and Floyd Mayweather, longtime sparring partner. Floyd Mayweather, Floyd Mayweather and Don Moore are familiar with each other. So Floyd Mayweather is basically, he's having an exhibition match against his sparring partner. He's having a glorified exhibition match, against his sparring partner. And on the surface, when you first look at it, we think, don't nobody want to see this shit. Don't nobody care about this shit. We ain't trying to see Floyd Mayweather spar his goddamn sparring partner. Don't nobody even know who the hell Don Moore is. Why would they even be trying to sell us, this bullshit? But everybody's seen the fallout. Everybody's seen the fallout from Tank Davis and Floyd Mayweather. When Tank Davis and Floyd Mayweather had a press conference, on the same day. And then Tank Davis, he came out and he said what he said. Everybody talked about the fact that Floyd Mayweather had a press conference on the same day, but not many people, almost nobody talked about exactly what Floyd Mayweather said, in that press conference. Nobody talked about really what he said in the press conference. And in the press conference, he said that I'm able, to milk the game. I'm able to continue fighting for however long that I want. A lot of people don't like that. You know what I mean? He also said that this isn't, going to be the last time that I step in the ring. He said these fights that I'm taking now are preparing me for something bigger. You know what I mean? He said, are preparing me for something bigger. These exhibitions. And nobody really, said nothing about it. Nobody really even gave it, much attention. So I did my due diligence, right? I did my due diligence. I got a couple friends. In a couple places. You know what I mean? I don't know Manny Pacquiao, personally, but I got a couple friends, who been in the business for a minute, and I'm listening to. And also, Manny Pacquiao told World Boxing News that he is going to need a way, to bring in money and to keep funding his foundations. You know what I mean? So he didn't win the presidency, and the stuff that the things before he retired, the way that he was funding, his foundations and things before he retired from the sport to attempt, to become president was boxing. Manny Pacquiao, is a boxer. That's what he does. That's what he knows. So Manny Pacquiao came out and said that he's going to need a way in between time, to fund his foundations and all that stuff. And then I got Floyd Mayweather telling me in the interview that, this fight with Don Moore isn't going to be his last fight and that it's preparing him for something bigger. And then, so I did, I used my due diligence. I hit up a couple of my sources. Again, I don't know Manny Pacquiao personally, but I know people who've been in and around boxing for a long time personally. I do know those people personally. And I can call those people and lean on those people, when there are certain things that's over my head that I don't know about. So I talked to, one a writer on the boxing scene, you know what I mean? And they told me that Manny Pacquiao would be open, to fighting Floyd Mayweather again. You know what I mean? He said that's what he's looking, that's the goal that he's looking towards. He's looking towards, fighting Floyd Mayweather again. And with Floyd Mayweather being in this expedition, stage with Manny Pacquiao needing money, you know what I mean? Floyd Mayweather, need money, keeping afloat, just boxing these exhibitions, for sport. What better than, a glorified exhibition or even a real boxing match, since both these guys are real boxers. What better than, Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao, too. Floyd Mayweather himself said this fight right here is preparing him for possibly, a bigger fight. We had Manny Pacquiao who just came out and told World Boxing News that he's going to be needing money in between time, to fund his foundation since he lost the presidency. And with him being a boxer, I'm guessing that that's going to be him making a ring return. He also told World Boxing News that he has not ruled out a comeback in boxing. You know what I mean? If you really think about it, Manny Pacquiao took, again, I preached this already. Manny Pacquiao took him a break from boxing. He took him a break from boxing to try and win his presidency. But you gotta think, if he had a won Edgar Daniels Ugas fight, do you think he still would have, took a break from boxing? I think he still would have ran for president, but I think he still would have been over here, getting ready for an Errol Spence fight. So, what my sources told me is that Manny Pacquiao is open to fighting again. He is, seeking a fight, after this. He said he can't disclose who, or he couldn't tell me who, you know what I mean? Because he wasn't really sure, but he said that it is going to be a big fight because Manny Pacquiao is not coming back to fight, a tune-up or nothing like that. He said if he's coming back, he said he's going to come back for a major fight against a top guy. You know what I mean? And with the welterweight division being tied up right now, I don't see him fighting Errol Spence or, Terrence Crawford. Maybe they have a Keith Thurman rematch or whatnot. But I know with him being older and Floyd being older, and Floyd saying in that press conference, the same day that he did with Tank Davis, that he said these fights are preparing him for a bigger fight, down the line. You know what I mean? So, and then I have my own source tell me that Manny Pacquiao is planning to come back to boxing, but he will only come back to boxing for, a big fight, for, a major fight, not nothing small. Floyd Mayweather also said that he's fighting this fight to prepare him, for something bigger. So I kind of think, reading between the lines, I hit up, my source. He told me, Manny, he was looking to make a comeback, in boxing. I think, as quiet as kept, this Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao 2 thing very well, could happen. 9 times out of 10, it's going to be just for a money grab. You know what I mean? Floyd Mayweather a little older, Manny Pacquiao a little older. You know what I mean? Manny Pacquiao need the money for his foundation. Floyd love the sport. He need the money, as well. That man got bills and shit too, like that. And boxers box. Boxers make money. Boxers need to make money, and boxers box, to make money. So, what better way for Floyd? If Floyd Mayweather need money, Manny Pacquiao need money, what better way than for them to come together and get this money? Now I'm guessing at the age that they're at, and the fact that both of these guys are really just doing it for a check right now, I don't think it's going to be as intense as the first fight. But I can see these two guys, coming together for a boxing exhibition and making this happen. I heard that Jake Paul and Mike Tyson could be. I heard that Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, could be fighting, as well, in and around the same time as this Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather 2 thing. But if this is to happen, shout out my guy Jeff Campbell. Appreciate you sliding through this joint, Jeff. If this was to happen, it will be in the exhibition match. You know what I mean? More than likely. But this is a real thing. He said if they fight Pac-Man again, go get his face beat up again, and I ain't paying for it. But this was just, something, that I'm hearing, in the rumor mill. I thought it was interesting, especially with Floyd Mayweather getting ready to have him a fight, next week. It's hard to decipher what's real and what's not real. At this point, I started to not even put this out here. I've been sitting on this information for about 2 or 3 days, and then I seen another article come out and see it, so I was like, well, you know what? I'm gonna go and put it out there, myself, because I did get the same info as well. But I just wanted to come in here and share this joint with y'all real quick. Again, this is a rumor mill. This is not set in stone. You know what I mean? Floyd Mayweather did say out of his mouth that this fight with Don Moore is leading up to something bigger. You have Manny Pacquiao telling the World Boxing News that he does plan to make, a boxing comeback, because he does need, ways to keep his foundations, funded. So, if you hear about this later on, if you hear about this news later on or on down the road or something, remember where you heard it first. You heard it first on Sudden T. But that's all I got. Skin the Hardaway Sudden T. This ain't the past. This ain't the future. But this the present. That's how we rocking. And I'm out. Look, shout out to my guy Dwayne. Boxing matches with Dwayne Freeman. Appreciate you sliding through this.